Welcome back to BS Reviews. We have been on a little bit of a break just because somebody has the devil as their internet access and didn't have any kind of internet for the last few days. So congratulations on getting internet
My
back.
my my ports were broken. All four ports in the back of my modem were broken, and they had to mail me a new modem because they
Oh,
weren't having technicians and other stores were open and everything. So I had to wait on it. So I am up and running. I did bump my internet, so we got better
finally.
quality. It looks like.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, I'm looking forward to the homework because I'm really eager. This is a movie that was recommended by mom to us at first. I ended up watching it, loved it, gave it to my dad, he loved it, and now I've given it to you. So I'm waiting for I want to see your
Mhm.
opinion. So you had The Hunt, and I
Mhm.
had P.S. I Love You, or Gerard Butler, right? From back in the
Yeah.
day. I got him and Russell Crowe mixed up once, and I feel bad about that.
Yeah. Why would you ever get them mixed
I
up?
don't know. Just the
Anyways.
bushelness. I don't know. Fuck it.
Mm,
So yes, you want to lead off?
yeah, I
Because I
can
think yours
start.
will be more fruitful than mine.
Yeah, I don't think I know that you probably didn't like that movie. Anyways, so with The Hunt, it came out 2020. It was actually postponed because it was originally supposed to come out in early 2019, I think, March or something. Or anyway, it was supposed to come out in 2019 and it kept getting pushed back because of like people didn't want it to be released. Like
Yeah,
there was a bunch of controversy around it.
because it's
I
political.
I I understand why the controversy is around it.
Yeah.
So this is your spoiler warning because we both have seen this movie recently, and so I'm not going to put it there, but yeah.
Damn.
Uh, so it was very clear which sides were which in the political standpoint, but
Okay.
they weren't just like, okay, this is what I believe. It was like, okay, this is what I believe to the farthest right and to the farthest left you can possibly go.
Mhm.
And that was what was made it like, there were some points where I was just like, oh, should I take offense to that? But I don't want to take offense to that, but I kind of find that offensive because it was so far left and I was just like, and then stuff was so far right. And I'm like, oh, it was the obnoxious of both sides.
Mhm.
Um, so basically, these wealthy people are making jokes or whatever, talking about the hunt in a text message, and it gets out, and all the conspiracy theories are being like, "Oh, these rich people hunt people for fun, and they should just lose everything," and they get like ostracized from their company, and they decide to actually hunt people. Now, I don't know if they actually were hunting people beforehand and people found out about it and they were just
They
like,
weren't.
well,
They weren't
that's what I
because they
thought.
said they said this is the first time doing it. We need to make sure we get it
Right.
right. So they only did it because people say they did it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
they're
skipping
like
the end
fuck
real
these
fast,
people.
they even confront her and she's like, but you are doing it. She was like, well, we are now. And she's like,
You caused it.
so you caused, like, it was ridiculous. But so they pick these people who they feel like are so far on the right side that they're just stupid and pointless, and they're like, they ruined our lives by saying that we hunted people, so
There you go.
we're gonna hunt them
It was the main
because
thing was people that didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They wanted to
yep,
go after the people that ruined their career just because they believed a rumor.
a
Yeah,
rumor.
yeah,
Yep. So they put them in this area and they start hunting them.
yeah.
But what's kind of funny is the far left people don't know how to like use some of the guns, so they have to hire a consultant.
They threw the grenade at him. It landed, and nothing happened. And the guys with two arrows in them, like on the ground, like what the fuck? And you hear in the background, did you pull the pin? Oh shit! And then another one lands without the pin and blows him the hell up. Yeah,
Well, there were some parts that I'm just like, that's ridiculous. Like at the very beginning, when the girl like falls into a pit, and she has like spikes sticking out of her
it's
stomach, and
my birthday tomorrow.
one of the guys helps her out, and they start walking, and then he steps on a
Landmine.
landmine and explodes, and she falls back into the pit, but she's missing the entire
Mm-hmm.
bottom part of her body,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody was gonna like try to help her out and everything, and she's still alive, and she's just like, F this, and just shoots herself. She's like, I'm
Quit
done.
being a
Um,
snowflake, grabs a gun and shoots herself.
yes. But I was just like, it was the people were the most obnoxious people on both sides because it was so far extreme. It's like, come on, most people are not so far
What did
extreme.
you think of the lead? Because that was my main reason of giving this to you.
Yeah.
But that lead, I felt, carried it. But let me hear you.
Yeah, she was awesome. Her accent, her body language, she really like felt like
She
the
goes,
character.
that one guy.
Like she embodied the character so well. I'd be curious to know what else she's in, just because she's one of those, I think, method actors where like you get lost in the character because
Mhm.
she does it so well, just from the way she walks even. So she was phenomenal. And when it comes down to the end where she kind of basically fights her way to the lady,
Hilary Swank's character.
Hilary Swank, yes. Hilary Swank's character, and they basically fight, and Hilary Swank's been like preparing for like 8 months and everything. They get down to a fight, and this fight is over the top and ridiculous. I'm like, there are multiple times that you both should have just like been enough. Like, that's enough pain. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Well, anyways, she tells her, she's like, oh, that's not me. You got the wrong girl. Like, I get her mail all the time. That's not me. And it's like, but what? And
They got the wrong person.
yeah, so finally they end up like killing her. Like all the people that put them into the hunt all ended up dying, and all the people they put in ended up dying as well. She was the only one that was left by the end
comedy
of it.
was great in it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
It was spot on because it wasn't like forced setup comedy, but it was just reaction comedy. Like the in the trailer, she walks in and has to fight the two people that own the gas station, but at the end, she's just like, cigarettes in Arkansas are only $6. You fucked up, bitch. I was like, oh my god.
I really liked that.
And she opens the pack of cigarettes and it's empty, and she
There's
just has
nothing
sign
in
of disappointment on her face. You know, the humor in it was just a fun, genuine humor. I really enjoyed it myself, and I'm glad I rewatched it.
I will say, if you get easily offended, whether you're far left or far right, like you probably shouldn't watch the movie. But if you're like a normal person who is in between, and you can realistically identify the far left, which it was funny, like she has a gun to this one lady, and one of the guys is like, don't kill her, she's a woman. And the girl's like, who's far left, is sitting on the ground, like, I should be treated equally. Bang, bang, okay.
No, she the lead character, she goes, ma'am, do you think because you're a woman you should be treated differently? She goes, fuck no. Bam! Just shoots her and kills her. Yeah, so yeah.
And then the far right, like, as long as you don't get offended by far left or far right, and you can see that. What do you mean?
I disagree. You're saying if you're in the middle, you'll be okay because you can see both sides and laugh at it. But if you're on one side or the other, you're going to be offended. I think if you're on one side or the other, you would actually, yes, you might get a little offended about the stereotypes, but you know the stereotypes people call about you one way or the other. But you're going to laugh at the ones that you call other people. So I think it's a genuine movie for wherever you stand in the political status.
Maybe, like, you'll laugh at the ones that you call the other side, but the ones that are being called to you, or the stereotypes that come through and the jokes that are played, you're going to be like, that's not me.
It's evenly played though on both sides.
I think one side was a little heavier than the other.
Okay.
But that was just me. But no, I liked it. It was entertaining. I do, at the end, like, she goes and like kills the main Hilary Swank character, and then like gets dressed up in her fancy dress and her $250,000 bottle of champagne, and gets on the plane. Was like, so the people that you guys flew here, that
get the champagne in one hand and a gun in the other. I want to head home. They're all dead. Are we gonna have a problem?
And they're like, nope. And then it's like, do you want some of this? Like, it was entertaining. So I would recommend it. It was a good movie. Probably a 7.5.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed another one of the good movies that I'm throwing your way on there. So I owe you a pretty shitty one here soon.
No.
You keep giving me chick flicks. Speaking of chick flicks, I've got P.S. I Love You. I picked it. No, I picked a year. So shut up.
Okay, I would.
So I got P.S. I Love You, and again, it's Hilary Swank, Gerard Butler. So we had double Hilary Swank this past time around, and you said
10 years difference though. Like, this movie came out.
You said that if you would question how much of feelings and a soul I have if I didn't get emotional at some point during this movie, right? Got emotional 3 times.
Yes!
I didn't bawl. It wasn't an Inception cry. I didn't cry like I do in
That's because
Inception.
there's no kids. There's no kids.
Right, but I did have tears in my eyes at one point or another. I even recommended it midway through to other people, saying, "Hey, you need to check this out." I thought it was good. Basically, Gerard Butler's an Irishman, and he marries a woman, Hilary Swank's character. You see their pattern of continuous fighting. They leave the room and they come back. They're like, "I'm sorry, I love you," and they've been high school sweethearts almost since they were 16 when she was on a Europe trip at one point in time. So, anyways, it seems like a typical what you think would be an awesome marriage where you do your battles, but you always come back to one another. And then it cuts immediately to his funeral. He fucking dies just immediately after. And I was like, okay, this is gonna start up. This is gonna start off real good. All the friends, all the family, all the stories that are involved in it were pretty good at the funeral scene. Afterward, though, she turns 30. When she hits 30, she gets a cake, and in the cake is a audio tape, and she thinks somebody's playing a fucking joke on her, and she doesn't like it because she's been going through some rough shit after the love of her life had died. So her place is a mess with like rotting Chinese food and stuff on the counter, and I don't know why I pointed to specifically my kitchen. Don't pay attention to that. Apparently he had letters, not every day for a year, but random ones that pop up to be able to get her to reminisce about the things they did and cherish the time they had together. And everything from singing karaoke to quitting the job she hates. And just a trip to Ireland where he's from to meet his parents for the first time. Even though it wasn't planned for her to meet the parents, he knew she would if she was in Ireland in the same area. So it was a really sweet thing of how well they knew each other through and through. I really enjoyed the movie, but at the end, do you
remember how many letters that she got?
There were about 5.
It was random over the course of like a year, right?
Year and a half on there, yeah.
So like she would get that excitement.
Or a year, actually.
She would check the mail every day because it's almost like extending the relationship that she had, but then slowly weaning her off.
Yeah.
Like instead of just going cold turkey, she gets just slowly, like you said, cherish what they had, but then slowly move on.
And that's what it ended up being. And it finds out that he wasn't the one that actually set it all up. He convinced her mom, which hated him in the first place, to be the one to give her these letters and send these deliveries and such like that. I thought it was, even though I saw that right off the fucking bat, that was easily predictable. But I thought it was a great movie. At the end, it seems like she's got a thing with this other bartender guy, and at the end, the final letter comes, and it's about, living your life and being able, thank you for the time. I was just a chapter in your book, but you were my entire book. Oh my God, I'm about to cry right now saying that. Did you see that? Oh, don't look at it in my eyes. I have emotions.
I know. I was like, I forgot about that. I haven't seen this in years. It's a very emotional movie.
So when they end up kissing and they realize it's not gonna work, and they're just like, no, that's not it. And so they were just like, well, that at least we know. But it was a good movie through and through. I'm tired of being able to watch your fucking chick flicks, but I do give it I want to compare it to The Hunt at 7.5. Because I don't think it was as good as The Hunt, but my grading is a little bit rougher, so I'm going to give it a 7.5 as well. So honestly, it was probably a little above that. I think you were a little rough on The Hunt. Don't mind me.
Well, I know that you had just picked a year, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was a little nervous when you picked it. I was like, oh God, he's going to hate me. He's going to think I'm just giving him chick flicks because I'd given you... This is the second movie because I gave you Easy A, which was a rom-com, and you liked it. And this was a rom-com, and you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it, and, it's... Stop giving me chick flicks. I'm a single, alone living man. Stop giving me chick flicks.
No, I'm just giving you things.
If I get another chick flick, I got a bottle of wine ready to go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna full on chick flick it.
To wrap this up, I had The Hunt that came out in 2020, and I gave it a 7.5, and would recommend it. Like, it is a good movie. And then you had P.S. I Love You, which came out like a decade ago.
I gave it a 7.5 as well, and I have emotions, and there were tears in my eyes, so fuck off.